Hey, I'm Evan.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to USSC Stories.
The broken and falling, damned old souls been sent to burn. Nowadays they've been calling, telling me soon gonna be my turn. Head down.
Welcome back to USSC Stories. So this episode is going to be kind of one of our darker episodes. We're going to be kind of touching on some topics that I know a lot of people deal with in and out the military. So kind of want to start off. We talked about how we talked about getting the podcast and that together, doing the C stories. Me and Evan, we met in South Carolina, like we said before. Once he transitioned out, we were cool. We talked, but it wasn't like on a frequent basis, man. I happened to make a post a few months back about a suicide attempt that I tried to do towards the end of October 2019. Actually end up got reached out to by Evan. He kind of told me that he was going through some of the same things, and he always saw kind of me on Facebook, laughing, joking, stuff like that, but didn't know that I should have had, something going on like that. He just didn't expect that. No one did. So we actually end up really connecting a lot since that happened. Then, we came about with this project. So, kind of what I want to say, no matter what you may have going on with you, if you share your story with somebody, you're always going to reach out and touch somebody that you never thought you will, reach out to. And then now look at us, man. We in this thing, man. So Evan, do you want to kind of share some of your feelings about, your mental state and everything like that?
Yeah, man. It's for anyone, it's a hard thing to talk to about deep feelings and shit like that. Obviously, you're gonna bring up certain memories you don't want to bring up and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, like back in South Carolina, we met. We're all cool and stuff, and everything was gravy. And then we didn't exactly fall out, but we just, we hadn't really talked to each other for a long time. We had our own personal lives going on and stuff like that. And I seen a couple posts from you on Facebook. Everything looked cool. You were always the funny guy kind of thing going on, and everything was really cool, man. You'd always post these, when Vines were the thing. You used to post these like Vines and shit like that, and everything seemed really cool. And then, one day, you posted that post about you attempting suicide, man. And that was a couple. That was about 2 years after I got divorced and stuff like that. So, man, I felt some sort of empathy, man. Obviously, I was not on the same level and stuff, but
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, bro. Like everyone's going through some kind of dark shit, man. Especially nowadays, jumping forward to 2020, man. You got the shutdown and everyone's locked up and people are losing their jobs. I've noticed suicide rates are fucking skyrocketing. It brings us to the point of trying to realize certain emotions and shit like that, man. So yeah, you had posted try to take your life and stuff, and I don't know who contacted who first, but we had contacted each other and we're just bullshitting and stuff. And it was good stuff, man. Like it was almost like reliving old days, which is kind of how we got to this channel to begin with.
Yeah.
Very nostalgic and stuff like that. And we talked about a bunch of dark shit, man. Like, you with your depression and your suicide stuff. I was going through some rough times after my divorce, you know, and you know, it was really rough.
Yeah.
And we just started talking about stupid shit, like old sea stories that we had or old shit in South Carolina that we had, and it really it made a difference, bro. Like it pulled through.
Yeah.
Talking about old stuff, like shit in South Carolina that we do, old parties and stuff like that. And for people that are going through rough times now, man, you have to look for those very dim things in your past that spark the light in your soul,
Yeah, because I mean, I am no ambassador for speaking on depression or anything like that. I didn't really depression didn't actually hit me until I got out, and it's like a compound of shit that kind of trickled down from going to therapy and all that stuff like that. I think once I got out, realizing we talked about that previous video where you turn down certain jobs and stuff like that. After I found that I couldn't just seeing I couldn't provide for my family like I did before. Just certain things didn't line up the way I wanted to line up. It hit me hard, man. It hit me hard. My living situation at the time, it just wasn't what I wanted. It just wasn't the best. Then we uprooted and moved to Texas, thinking that things were going to be a little better, but it just wasn't. It brought strain in my relationship. I was just never happy, and I just found like every reason possible to put blame on somebody else, but instead of trying to seek help and trying to do for myself, man. I mean, like I lost interest in so much stuff. I just felt like I was like a walking zombie. I was just putting on a face for everybody. And then, my outlet was actually Facebook, man, like doing a little videos, making a little stupid posts, stuff like that. I was painting a picture of myself to people that wasn't true,
Show people, but wasn't there. Yeah, man. Tell you, man, it was about that same time I got out of the Navy and couldn't get the jobs that I wanted, and I was married. Well, I wasn't married at the time, but we were pretty much married. We just hadn't gone to the court and stuff like that. And got out, Navy and stuff like that, and couldn't provide. I think you and I are both kind of the same person.
Yeah.
Where we came from the background where the man should provide for a family kind of thing. I know some of the guys aren't like that, but we were brought up that way. And we just couldn't provide, and that's a real fucking hardship, man. Like if you're that way and you have it in your mind that you need to take care of your family and you're struggling to do that, it can be a really depressing, bro. Like even when I got the job at Chick-fil-A, I was working hard as fuck, overtime all the time. My wife would, she was in the Navy. She would go out to sea on deployment and stuff like that. So I would, take care of the kids and work, all kinds of stuff. It puts a strain on a lot of stuff, man. And you think you're a failure all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time you think you're a failure, And in your mind, you tell yourself that you're a failure.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
Yeah, it's really tough, man. Because I remember I drank a lot more than what I normally do. Like I indulged a lot of drinking. Ate all the time. I gained all this extra weight. I couldn't. I was like disgusted with myself, man. With so many things, like I couldn't change her in a mirror. I hated pictures. I just hated, who I was. I hated where I was at. I hated everything about me. And then what really kind of hurt too was like, my wife was going into the transition of going to the Army. I really took a shot at my pride because I'm like, man, I'm supposed to be the one taking care of y'all, man. You know, I don't want you going out there sacrificing your life for some shit that, you know, I should be doing. And then that really ate at me too. And it was just like seeing your circle of friends, a circle of people around you doing so good, doing amazing. And then you want to feel that happiness, but it's like, it just doesn't click or hit you right, you know?
Yeah, that was one of the big things, bro. Like when I got out, a lot of the people I shared with got out at the same time, and they took those jobs that we were talking about in the previous episode or one of the previous episodes that we just didn't take, you know, and they advanced and all that stuff, and they're making really good money. And you can't just help, you know, you can't help but feel envious, really, you know, envious, jealous, all that kind of stuff. Like, here these guys are that providing for their families, they're making this good money, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's not fair to feel that way to them, but
Right.
it is. It is what it is. You're human, you know.
Right.
And here you are working at Chick-fil-A, you know, and you feel like a piece of shit because you've done and you've accomplished so much, and you've just started from the fucking bottom all over again, you know. It feels so rough, man. Like, what is the fucking point, kind of thing, you know? Like, man, it was really fucking rough.
And especially, you know, when you're feeling like that, you don't really want to talk to about anybody, or kind of you just bottle that shit up, and then over time it just eats at you. And, you know, some people, I can't speak for everybody, some people know how to deal with stress a little better than most. You know, some people don't have those thoughts of suicide or anything like that. And honestly, I don't know. It just, for like maybe 3 or 4 months, just like, I just hated waking up. There were times where I went to bed and I was like, damn, I woke up this morning, you know, like, yeah. Fuck. And then one night, drank half a bottle of liquor, fucking drowned these pills, fucking woke up the next morning and I was like, fuck, I'm still here, you know. Checked myself in to a mental institution. I was there for, I think, 7, between like 7 to 10 days. Went to all these different therapies and stuff like that. And then still didn't talk to anybody. The only person I really talked to was like one of my friends and then my wife about the whole situation because, you know, she knew. And then one day I go on Facebook because I end up finding out I have bipolar depression disorder. So I've been taking medication and shit for that. So I end up joining this group on Facebook. That post that I made on Facebook, I actually made that post into the group. Well, the fucking administrator in there deleted my post and sent me a message to say, hey, I deleted your post because you didn't put hashtag trigger warning on the post. So I didn't want your post to trigger somebody else. So next time you decide to post something like that, make sure you put a hashtag on there. I was like, are you fucking serious, bro? Like, you know, you got somebody that's actually trying to reach out for help because they feeling like, you know, down at the time. Then you gonna tell them, yeah, fuck your feelings, put a hashtag on that shit. So I was like, all right, man. So I posted it on Facebook, not really looking for sympathy, not looking for likes and all that shit. No, I just put it out there because it was eating at me, right? Like I tried to kind of talk to somebody. Maybe I was like, you know, if the shit don't reach, you know, maybe it reaches somebody. And I was surprised about all the like the love and the people that was feeling the same way too, and reaching out to me. A lot of men, especially a lot of ex-military people, a lot of ex-Navy people I was on the boat with, feeling the same way too. So I was like, man, I'm glad it just wasn't just me. You know, it felt good to know, like, all right, I'm not the only one going through this.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of ex-military guys go through the same thing. They just don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to have people know about it, you know, which leads to a lot of suicide. You know, like they just don't reach out, and they don't want people to know that they're in a weak spot, you know. And yeah, when I saw your post, man, I was like, fuck, this guy? Really? Like, this dude was cool as fuck, you know, he was funny all the time. He was always fucking full of laughs and shit like that, you know. And it just goes to show you, man, like, the people that you wouldn't think would be depressed, or they could be depressed, you know. And there you go. You even try to kill yourself, man. I saw that post, and you know, that's kind of where we rekindled our friendship, man.
Yeah, man.
I reached out to you and told you all kinds of shit. And we just kind of started talking about sea stories and stupid shit like that stuff. That's kind of how this thing formed, you know.
Yeah, man. That's the best thing that kind of came out of all that too, man. You know, the love of my family, the love and support I got from my family, and then, you know, finding something to kind of distract me or get me away from those thoughts again, man. Just doing this brings so much joy to, you know, get on here and not just bullshit and share our stories, man. You know, talk to other people, get the interaction and stuff. And, you know, I look forward to, you know, recording the video. I look forward to, you know, seeing the likes and all that stuff. Like, man, it's like, damn, it really takes you away from whatever problems, complications you got going on. And, you know, just the conversations that we have on a day-to-day basis, just with certain, just dumb shit. And that stuff like that, like, I would just tell people who's dealing with any type of mental illness or if they've been diagnosed or not, if they're feeling some type of way, man, you know, always reach out to people. Don't be ashamed to tell your story, because people can judge, people will judge, but fuck them, man. You know.
Yeah, especially to the point of, if you reach out to somebody and they kind of shrug you off or whatever, don't feel ashamed to keep reaching out, kind of thing. You know, there'll be people that think you're just fucking around or whatever. Maybe you fool yourself into thinking you're fucking around, but
yeah,
don't you know, don't feel ashamed to keep reaching out to somebody, because
because you never know, man. You might help somebody else out that might have been, you know, feeling the same way, and then now you just save somebody else from, you know, doing something that you thought about doing. Or, you know, sometimes some people just need to talk and hear them out. Let them say their piece, man, because you can save somebody. You never know.
Yeah, man. You know, life is rough, bro. Like, it's just our two stories alone, you know, going through the military and stuff like that, our experiences of getting out and being depressed and stuff like that. That's just us. You know, I can only imagine other people's stories, people that weren't in the military or who are in the military, got out of the military, you know, civilians, whatever the fucking case may be, you know, they're going through some shit and they feel like they can't reach out to somebody, you know.
Yeah. And especially what you said now, you know, with how the world's going on right now, man, with 2020 and, you know, the stuff that's going on with the racial wars and all that shit, you know, it's bringing a lot of negative energy around for people. So
it's a hope of mine, bro. Like, people watching us talk, you know, me being a white guy, you being a black guy, you know, being friends and everything like that. Like, in this year, 2020, you know, all the fucking crazy shit that's going on, man. Like,
right.
Everyone hating each other and stuff like that. Someone who's watching this video will watch it and be like, fuck, I knew I wasn't wrong. Like, I knew there was still good shit. I knew we could still fucking be homies. I knew we could still be fucking friends, you know? Like,
right.
That's my hope through all this shit.
Yeah, man. Just, you know, reach out to everybody that we can, man. You know, like we said in the beginning, you know, hey, anybody past, present, future, in or out, whatever, man. You know, that's our goal, is to reach people different levels, and you know, and I hope people keep rocking with us, man.